our subconscious patterns are going to screw it up for us and try to gaslight us and be like, oh yeah, go to this place, it'll be fine, it'll work out. Just because you're excited about somebody doesn't mean you know them and that they'll live up to the idea that you have of them based on the first few encounters with them. In a lot of stories that I see online from women who identify as having CPTSD or attachment trauma, or they're expressing disappointment in how someone that they're newly dating didn't want to continue dating them, or it didn't seem like they were serious about dating them, or they were confusing in some sort of way. I'll see in their stories that they'll consider meeting up at the guy's place or the guy coming over to their place, and the first or second meetup that constitutes as dating. And I want to talk about why when we have CPTSD, when we have attachment trauma, meeting up at someone's place within the first couple of hangouts is just setting you up for failure. If you want real companionship, real love, to truly be in a relationship and do life with somebody that you can just trust, we're going to get into 2 reasons why that is such a sabotaging thing to do when you want to have true companionship and a real reciprocal relationship. Before I dive in though, if you're new here, welcome to Confessions of an Avoidant. My name is Wando, and let's dive right in. Okay, so the first reason why you should absolutely not meet at the guy's place is because that's not a date. It's not romantic. It is just setting you up for failure. A date is 2 people meeting in a neutral setting, ideally again and again. And with each date, both parties are earning the right to be let into the other person's life a little bit more each time through their continued interest and their continued effort. If someone is serious about you, you can only truly gauge that over time when they keep showing up to these dates. They keep showing interest. They know that they're seeing you in these fleeting moments and they want to keep seeing you. They're anticipating it. They're putting effort in, you two, and they're feeling emotionally safer and safer with you, and you're feeling emotionally safer and safer with them. And so the problem with meeting at someone's place within the first couple of meetings is you're skipping over all of that earning trust, earning safety, really understanding companionship. Like you're just skipping over all of that and you're just getting this instant, impulsive, quick fix of companionship. You still don't know this person. They haven't proven that they are an emotionally safe person. They haven't even proven that they truly, truly like you because they don't even know yet. They haven't proven that they deserve to have sex with you because you know what their intentions are and what's going to happen after you have sex for the first time. There's so much you don't know. But when you go meet at that person's place, you're setting yourself up to just override all of those things that will happen over time and maybe make an impulsive, hasty decision that you could regret. Meeting up at someone's place, it's a very kind of one-sided environment. It's not a neutral environment like a date. There's going to be one person who has a little bit more power. And then the issue with those of us who have CPTSD, attachment trauma, is we can be people pleasers. We can be freezers, fawners. We don't know what's going to trigger us. And you know what will definitely trigger you for sure? Sex. When you're at someone's place and it's only your second time hanging out with them, you've been drinking some alcohol, you're cuddling on the couch together, watching a movie. In the moment, your impulses take over. And so you're going to make impulsive decisions based on how you feel in that moment or how you want the guy to feel in that moment. Or maybe based on your magical thinking of how you think everything will be fine no matter what we do tonight. That's what happens when you go over to their place. You're craving and acting on this quick fix, this quick dose of companionship when you still don't know this person. They still don't know you, so they don't know either how much they even like you. So this is why this can just be such a mind F. And that leads me to point 2. Meeting at the person's place, it is setting you up for disappointment, shame, regret, because you don't even know if you like this person. If intimate impulses are happening in that meetup, or maybe you even do things that your people pleaser aspect of yourself decided to do. The next day, you might not even feel like, oh, I like this person so much. It doesn't matter, because your attachment wounds will enter the chat, and your fear of abandonment or your fear of rejection, neglect, the motivations to avoid those fears will override your logical understanding of, oh, I didn't even like this person that much. I still don't even know that person. The attachment wounds of it all is going to make you very dysregulated early about the situation. It sucks, especially with sex. There's so much heightened shame around sex. There's societal shame around sex for women on top of the CPTSD and the attachment trauma of it all. The societal shame and what the guy might be saying to his friends or what he might be thinking of you. Like, those things are triggering, and those things will be dysregulating you as well. And so if you never meet at the person's place, they never meet at yours, it's just completely off the table. Those negative attachment wounds and triggers, they won't even enter the chat. They won't even have an opportunity to be on the table. And I'll see in a lot of stories as well, women will say things like, men, they're not going to wait. They're not going to go on multiple dates. And that is limiting beliefs talking. That's scarcity mindset talking. That's attachment trauma and CPTSD wounds talking. Men are conditioned to pursue a woman and woo her and court her. And all of my boyfriends have done that. Only my first boyfriend, that started off physical intimacy pretty fast. But that is the exception to the rule. Let me tell you, I'm 40 years old. I've had some case study research. That is the exception to the rule. But yeah, it's so important to not think like that. I'll also see in these stories that women will say things like, well, I told him that I was only wanting something serious. And so, yeah, we were sexually intimate, but he should know from my intentions that I don't want to just have casual sex, or I don't want to have like casual sex a few times and then it just kind of peters out and doesn't go anywhere. The issue with that is someone can simply say what their intentions are, but if they have actions that completely contradict it, he's probably just going to think, okay, she's down for something casual. Like maybe she's looking for something serious, but with me, it seems like she just wants something more casual. Men aren't going to go, oh, well, she said on the date, about an hour into the date that she's looking for something serious. Now it's 1 a.m. and we've been, in my bed since the end of the date for hours, hooking up, watching a movie. And it's also not his responsibility to remember that for you and have boundaries for you and not engage in casual sex for you because of something that you want, when he wants casual sex and you've consented to casual sex. And I'm not saying this to shame any woman. I'm just saying it because sometimes I think when we have CPTSD, when we have attachment trauma, we can be very misaligned with things we say versus our actions, or we can hold people to some word that they said when their actions never match. I see this all the time. Like people will stay in these relationships that aren't working because someone keeps saying that they'll change, but it's like their actions show they'll never change. So this is just a common CPTSD thing where you're just constantly so focused on words and thinking that's enough, and actions don't have to follow through, including your own actions. It's going to be confusing for people. And most importantly, it will be confusing for you because you'll think, oh, I told this person my intentions. We did have sex, but they know my intentions of wanting something serious. But if it's, the first hangout, the second hangout, you have to understand in the other person's perspective as well, in their experience, they still don't know you. You both still don't know each other. So they still don't know how much they like you. They still don't know how compatible you are. They still don't know how safe they feel with you, how much they can let you into their life. You haven't earned those things for them either. They don't have to agree to like you and sign some contract to date you because you were sexually intimate when you went over to their place the second time you met up. Like, you both still don't know each other. And that is why meeting up, it's just a recipe for disappointment. Intimacy so quickly and meeting up at somebody's place within the first couple of hangouts is just, it throws everything out of whack. It throws the order of things out of whack. And it's just so dysregulating and discombobulating for people who have CPTSD attachment trauma. It is so important to just take your time. Don't be in a rush because you're sick of being alone and you're sick of feeling lonely. I know it can be so hard sometimes when you're on a date and you're excited about somebody and maybe they invite you to come over. It can be so hard to just say no, but it's like, you have to say no. Like, you have to have firm boundaries of knowing what you want. You just because you're excited about somebody doesn't mean you know them and that they'll live up to the idea that you have of them based on the first few encounters with them. It's so important to remember that when we have CPTSD and attachment trauma, because our subconscious patterns are going to screw it up for us and try to gaslight us and be like, oh yeah, go to this place, it'll be fine, it'll work out. Don't listen to that subconscious voice that has all these patterns that haven't been serving you. So just wanted to make a video about that. And if you liked it, do give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you've watched a lot of my videos, but you're not subscribed. I would appreciate that so much. And I will see you in the next video.